I think it's always fun to try to change it up so that they go, oh, wait a minute, I didn't think they were going to do that, or no, they forgot to do this incredible piece, and then you give it to them in a different way. You move some of the key lines around so that there's a fun of discovery for the book fans as well.
Hi, this is Tara Bennett, contributing editor for Sci-Fi WIRE, and we have the great brain behind Battlestar Galactica, Outlander. Of course, you worked on Star Trek, Ron Moore. Thank you so much for being with us, Ron.
Absolutely, good to see you.
Let's talk about Outlander, because Outlander is just about finished shooting its third season. So you're adapting another book, Voyager this time. You guys are in Scotland. You're in South Africa. It is a very difficult show to produce, so how's this one been in comparison, or do you feel like the machine is a little more well-oiled and this one was less difficult for you guys to, carry through to when we see it in September?
Every season and every episode is difficult in Outlander because it's a traveling show and there's no standing sets and characters come and go and the time periods change constantly. So as a production, it's very challenging to produce, and each season it just presents its own sort of nightmares of production problems and budget and so on. Creatively, I would say that the third season was easier to go at because the book was an easier book to adapt than the second book was. The second book was very complicated and difficult to sort of figure out how to make the transition from the page to the screen. The story in the third book is just cleaner. It's a more of a straight line, and it lent itself towards adaptation. So creatively, we just felt, oh well, this is a better gig. We know what we're doing. We're more confident about it. But then it was still about realizing it and how to do it, and sending everybody to South Africa, and how you're going to do that, and how much some of those episodes still have things in Scotland to be done, and you're still shifting out of the 20th century into the 18th century, and then you're also doing the 40s and the 50s and the 60s in the 20th century. So it's a lot of time periods to juggle and keep track of.
One of the things that I think you've done brilliantly with this show is that you've been able to augment. The books are wonderful, but then you've also been to explore Frank, other characters. You have opportunities in this narrative with this story to do that as well. How much have you guys kind of had fun in terms of mining your own material off of what's kind of there or alluded to just make some fresh story for those that are really in love with the books but like seeing something different too?
Yeah, I mean, that's the challenge of doing it, because I think it keeps us interested. I think it keeps the fans interested. I think, there are two big audiences for our series. There's the people that know the books and the people that don't know anything about the books. And we're always trying to, keep them both engaged. So even for the people that know the books really well and they're looking forward to specific things happening, I think it's always fun to try to change it up so that they go, oh, wait a minute, I didn't think they were going to do that, or no, they forgot to do this incredible piece, and then you give it to them in a different way. You move some of the key lines around so that there's a fun of discovery for the book fans as well.
And then just lastly, our hero and heroine have been separated at the end of season 2. How easy was it for you to figure out how quickly you want them to come together? I don't want to spoil or talk about when it is, but how much debate was in that fun writers' room of going like, well, how quickly do we get them together to satisfy fans, but then how long do we keep them apart so that we make great story and, hold out for the great thing that's going to happen with the reunion?
That actually was a fairly easy decision. The way the book laid out, and when we started putting the cards up on the board, it became very clear, oh, it's this many episodes, and this is the natural point to get them back together in the season and in the story. So that was one of the first things we locked in, and that really didn't change.
Well, thank you so much, Ron. It's always great to talk to you. Thank you.